I forgot to pull up the video for it, so now we gonna do it. I was Joan of Arc in my former life. Savage AF, y'all.
Hey.
You know what it is.
What's
Savage
up?
AF. Oh, look,
What's going
Shang
on,
is in
Savage
here.
AF? We up in here, yo. This is Shang, aka Hostage Video Day number 5.
That's right. I'm Black Pedro, aka I'm smoking a blunt. Savage AF, y'all. You know what we do.
Yeah, Frozen Face. That's my name.
It's all good, but we're gonna call you Froyo. Savage AF, man. Forget your feelings. Facts matter.
Yeah,
you know what it is.
No, facts don't matter. Facts don't matter. That's we got to change. Well, I'm gonna change my portion of it. Apparently, facts are bad things.
Facts matter when we want them to. When we want them to. Savage AF, guys. Forget your feelings. Facts matter. Black Pedro, comedian Shang, plus a blunt. It's sativa. We're here for you guys Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, live on YouTube and Facebook simultaneously.
I'm sorry, AJ Fitz said they got me in a bunker.
They got Shang in a bunker. I see, man. You know, we still trying to work out this deal. All right.
It's just the internet where I'm at. It's currently in the hotel because my shit normally is, smooth sailing.
Shit happens. All right, man. So listen, if you ever miss us live Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, YouTube and Facebook, you're an asshole. I'm just gonna.
Wow.
I would never let you babysit my kids, and I don't have kids. I would have kids just so you can't babysit them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but if you miss us by chance, say you miss us, you know what to do. It's scrolling.
It's right. It's done.
It's scrolling, and if you see it scrolling, you know what it is, and make sure that you go to
that's our YouTube channel.
It's our channel.
All the
subscribe.
shows are archived.
Tell your friends to subscribe, and hopefully I won't turn into a piece of light. Look at that. That's weird looking.
Yeah, you got a halo. I can see your halo. When you get to our YouTube page, which is youtube.com/C, the letter C / Savage AF World, all one word. Do this. That shit sounded like a Robert Zemeckis or a Jerry Bruckheimer movie.
It's pretty intense. And also make sure you give us, so our algorithm is going good, give us the thumbs up. Boom.
That's the one.
And that
doesn't matter which thumb.
And pertaining to, I'm just gonna let you pertaining to this one thing that is so imperative to let's be honest, Pedro, to the sanctity of the world, to make sure that the world moves forward in a progressive, positive tone. I think you need to follow us on this particular platform.
In particular.
Called the Egg.
The Egg, you know what it is, man. If you don't have time to say Instagram or IG, you could just call it the Egg like we do. Let me pull up my little visuals so public can see the spelling and shit. But listen, it's also in the corner of our screens, but at Black Pedro, at comedian Shang, that's a G at the end, guys. Don't do anything.
Yeah, it's not Shank. It's not Shane.
So yeah, man, on the Egg, especially since and we'll probably talk about this tomorrow. I need to read about it a little bit more, but the Senate just passed a bill to ban TikTok from government phones. So TikTok might not be allowed in America. So definitely get us on the Instagram, man. But we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. I'm gonna pocket that. There's no pocket.
Yeah, we'll share that with you tomorrow. But today, there's some other shit. So give them the rundown on the run up. I see a lot of people in the feed, and the people, you can't see me in the feed, but I can see you, goddammit.
Speaking of running up, if you are in Las Vegas this week at all, run up on Shang at the hotel casino Oyo Oyo. Oyo. Shang is there right now all week. That's why he's in a hostage situation. Okay, there you go. He's gonna flip that around. Get some. Okay, get that natural light on. Okay, but oh shit, I think the like have the guards run up on you, nigga. Like stop the feed now. He is broadcasting. Stop the feed.
So I went another direction.
You should face
and
the
I
window.
Fixed it.
You should
and I
face the
hope
window.
It works better.
No, you should face the window.
I should
and
what?
let that natural face the window and let the natural light hit you, and then you'll have the proper lighting for a high yellow Negro. You know what I'm saying? Like it's all good.
What Pedro says.
Woo! Look at that. The boy got a face and everything.
It don't work. It's still freezing.
Well, I'm not talking about the freezing. I was just talking about your lighting.
Cheers. Cheers.
That was a lighting comment. All right, man. So Savage AF, you know what it is, man. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. It is Thursday, December 15th, 2022, in the time-space continuum.
Yes, it is.
While Shang tries to break free of the Matrix, I'm gonna let y'all know that today's show is going to end with a Shangry. Whether it's frozen or we can see him or it's a little icon, we don't know. But what we do know is that we are slaves to slave movies. Let's talk about it, y'all. Looks like Shang popped out. Let's go pop back in. That one hit me. Sorry. Speaking of pop-ins, my Black page will pop in today for you. We're going to talk about being above the cloud. Above the cloud. Shang is back. Let's see if we can pull him in. Black screen. Here we go. Looks like you got a tan there, brother. Black page will pop in today, above the cloud. Before we get into that, let's talk about the number 51, as in what Puerto Rico might become next year. Let's talk about it. But before we get into that, we're going to start off on a heavy and serious note today. Take one more hit.
Yeah.
Put that out. Today, we're questioning, was it murder or manslaughter? The killer of Atatiana Jefferson, and this is a Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas shooting that occurred in October of 2019. Atatiana was sitting with her nephew. It's a young Black woman sitting with her. At the time, I believe he was like, was he 11 at the time or is he 11 now? Sorry. Either way, but she's babysitting her nephew. Front door is open. A neighbor calls the police to ask for them to check on the welfare of the Jefferson household because they saw a door open. Two officers approach. One, the female officer, goes around back, and the other officer, let me catch
the other murderer.
Well, it's only one, he's the only one who fired.
Right.
But
murderer.
Officer at the time, Aaron Dean, approached a window, saw a figure in the window, yelled, "Let me see your hands." And within 4 seconds of that interaction, fired one shot through that window, which subsequently killed Atatiana Jefferson. Meanwhile, Atatiana Jefferson was at the window. And Shang will be back, but she was at the window because she heard a noise outside and believed there was a prowler. So she reaches into her purse and pulls Shang back in right quick. So as Shang, I was saying, just to recap, that Tatiana was at the window because she heard what she believed to be a prowler outside the house. So she reached in her purse, got her legally owned gun. And we'll explain to you what those are later, Shang. I know you.
Hey, settle
with
down.
Legally owned firearms, but so she reached for her gun and yes, went to this window. her nephew's testimony ultimately in court was that she did not raise that gun up. The officer, Aaron Dean, murderer or manslaughter, however you want to call it, he he claims that she did, but also said that he fired without seeing her hands. So I don't know how you saw the gun without seeing her hands, unless she was holding it with her forehead. But he did fire that shot into a window. Very important piece of information. Neither officer at any point identified themselves as police, and
Right. We saw the
he admits that.
video. You lying cunts. Hey, okay, flat out, you
No,
lying.
he admitted that. No, he admitted that he didn't identify himself as an officer.
No,
So
no.
did the
What I'm
other
saying
officer.
is, they're always, you know what, the police always get some way where even when they say, well, hey, they, you know, you should be convicted, whatever, some way they wriggle their way out of it. The bottom line is, they don't value our fucking lives. They don't value our fucking lives, and they just shoot without cops. They need to be retrained. Fuck them all. All right, go ahead.
This it's just a weird. I mean, it's a weird story all around. Personally, if I saw a neighbor's door open, I might just yell in like, "Hello, anybody? Y'all good?"
Something.
You know what I mean? I might not just call the police first and be like, "Could you check on them?"
And
Because I think at this point, I think as a black community, we got to understand that like the police aren't like we shouldn't be calling the police to just like, could you check on my friend, or my cousin has some mental issues and he's
oh
in
no,
the
no, no, I
street.
agree with you.
We want you to go like that. We can't call the police for that. I'm not sure we can call them for anything at all. But like if you really think there's something wrong at your neighbor's house, and I mean, I'm not saying go rush in and check, but yell in there. If they,
But why didn't the
get your
police
neighbor's
yell?
phone numbers.
Why didn't the police yell out police? Okay, that's the first thing. Is that what you're trained for, you fucking cops?
And I also don't understand why, if they're approaching a house with an open door, it doesn't seem like they went to the door first. It seemed like they
went around back,
went
to
around the
window.
perimeter. Yeah, and I'm like, but the door was open. Like you could have yelled a bunch of stuff inside.
You could have knocked on the door. You could have knocked on it to get somebody's attention. They always do that.
Police.
They're
that part is frustrating. And then it's like the part about and the defense attorney for the officer Dean, he they're arguing that, well, she pointed the gun at him, and that's when all the rights go out the window. Even if she did, it's been admitted and proven that she didn't know y'all were police. She doesn't owe you any deference. Like, she doesn't know that you're fucking police officers. So that officer had no right, obviously, to be shooting into that house,
right,
essentially blindly, even though it's through a window.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, Pedro, there's a situation after situation where the cops come do some fuck shit. They do some fuck shit that they notice illegal. They don't announce, hey, police, and they run into people's houses, the no-knock warrants and all that kind of shit. They kill people while they're sitting on the couch. They kill people while they're having a bowl of ice cream and say, well, I didn't know it was my house. There's always some shit where they try to, and I don't understand how people can keep defending these motherfuckers. You didn't announce you were police. She could have thought you were a burglar. She's in there with a minor. She's allowed to fucking arm herself and protect her own home. You shot into the fucking place. You should be in the jail having your asshole stretched out.
Oh. Go ahead. No, go. Yeah,
that's
going.
What
finish out there.
Asshole stretched out, and we put that volleyball from the movie Wilson. Wilson.
What was it called? Castaway.
Right up his ass. Fuck that.
Maya Baker says calling police is the last thing I'm ever doing. Period. I feel you. I got my was. I just also remembered that I needed to mention that the other part of the neglect was both officers admitted that they didn't attend to Atatiana Jeffersons
10 minutes
at all. To give her any immediate medical aid. So they said they were concerned about the young nephew who had just witnessed that murder. Right? So here's what we haven't said. Is that he was convicted. Aaron Dean was of manslaughter, not murder. which is more like a it's admitting that it's identifying, recognizing that
That you
this
kill someone.
person killed somebody, but it was accidental. It wasn't this sort of like obviously premeditated or plotted or intentional or out of rage or anything like that, but that it was this kind of
I disagree.
accidental, unintentional. Now,
Accident.
as a police officer who pulls a trigger, I don't think that's, it's not an accidental discharge. He meant to shoot. And it's just not a mistake, right? Like a police officer, when pulling a trigger, has to have an intent. You know what I mean?
He pointed it.
He aimed
Listen,
and he killed her, like, and he hit her. So it's like it doesn't have to be murderous intent, but it is intentional, right?
it's
Like
intentional.
he
Hold
wasn't.
up.
He didn't just shoot in the air
You
and it
know what it
ricocheted,
is? You know what
or
it
he was
is?
shooting at somebody else and then
A
hit
lot of
her.
times with us, it's indifference. It's indifference. You're an animal. You're not a human being. I can just pop you off and it's okay. And I know I got, I got immunity across the board pretty much because cops always get immunity. And it just seems like, you said it was intentional. It's like, yo, announce your police so she can go, oh, okay, I thought you were a burglar. Give her the opportunity to say, okay, put her gun down, even if she had a gun, if not, whatever, to say, oh, thank God, because I thought you were a burglar.
There were also another detail is that the second officer, she was not like he as well. Aaron Dean admits that he did not announce the presence of a gun to his fellow officer at all.
Gun.
Yeah. Usually they have to say that, right? Like they're supposed to yell these things out. Damani Jones says, I think we're starting to learn that learn the popo ain't for real protection. They got their own agenda. And you know what, Damani, I know what you're saying, and I think you know too that we've known for a while that the police have their own agenda.
Right.
But what you're referencing, for me at least, is that it's becoming extremely evident that we are still reduced in citizenship. That when there is actually danger in our neighborhood, or maybe not danger, but just we want to show concern for a neighbor, right? And not be, as a neighbor, it's not your job to go patrol your neighbor's house if you see the door open. As citizens of America, no matter what shade, color, creed, whatever, we should all be able to call the police and be like, hey, my neighbor's door is open, not sure, blah, blah, blah.
Okay, look what Maya Baker said. Put up what Maya Baker said, and also
this one, white justice system will always protect the KKK police from serious consequences if they can get away with it.
Well, he didn't get away with it completely.
Yeah,
but
I mean, there is a conviction here.
There is a conviction, but what I'm saying is, it just seems like they're very quick on the trigger with us. They're very quick on the trigger with us, and it seems like they always escalate it to either deadly or harmful. And when you say it was like an accident, I don't know how you accidentally not announce you're a cop. How do you accidentally not tell your other partner gun? How do you accidentally not? And then how do you accidentally let this woman bleed out and die for 10 minutes? That the prosecutor was railing this motherfucker. So you knew she was dying. You knew, then you gave her no assistance. You didn't. Well, no. Well, fuck you then.
Right,
so eat a dick.
And I just want to present the technical definitions, not only for my own clarity, but for the community as well. Just Googled manslaughter, the crime of killing a human being without malice, a forethought, or otherwise in circumstances not amounting to murder, right? And then just for total clarity, I'm just gonna, look up the definition of murder. Okay, the unlawful, premeditated killing of one human being by another. So, even if it's in the heat of the moment, or whether you spend 6 months trying to kidnap the governor of Michigan. You know, if you
Right.
do it and succeed
Well, let
at
me
taking another human's life, then
well, let me ask
that's
you
murder.
this. Now, okay, he's definitely got guilty of manslaughter. Okay, which I think is, I don't think he gets his asshole stretched enough, and he can't enough with that. I feel like he should definitely get fucked over even more because it was murder to me. To me. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I do play one on television. The thing is, I think that it just seems like case after case after case after case, situation after situation after situation, the police are seen as, well, hey, I didn't know. I thought it was a taser. I didn't know I pulled out a gun, even though a taser's way lighter than a gun. And even though a taser's yellow and a gun is black, it always seems something that they give an excuse for. Fuck that. They could have yelled out and then letting her bleed out and die. That's the part.
Yeah.
Okay, I fucked up. Let me rectify it. Let me try to get this woman help.
Yeah. I did see this story you're referencing about there's a black female student who was handcuffed and removed from her
I
college
saw the
classroom.
story. Yeah.
I wanna read more about it. And then I just saw some video clips, and then it's on the list though.
I read
Trust me.
about Maya. Um, she's absolutely, the way the police responded, absolutely wrong. The woman basically called
Well,
the
I mean,
cops on her.
this is not something the police should respond to, right?
Right, because she raised her voice, at her.
And according to the student and the other students in the class, the teacher started yelling at the student first, and
But
then
see, and before she yelled,
called the cops because the girl wouldn't apologize.
yes,
And it's like, what is the cop code for unapologetic citizen?
yes.
You know what I mean? Unapologetic in public, why would police be responding to that?
Why would police?
No, I'm not giving my tax money for these motherfuckers to go to some classroom and arrest a black chick because she won't
because she was rude.
apologize to her.
What
teacher.
what law is rude? You were rude, so
I mean,
death.
there are levels to rude. Slapping somebody in the face is rude.
No, I mean, yeah, she
it can be.
physically
It
didn't
could
touch
also
this.
be assault. So
She physically
but
didn't touch this old bitch.
no,
Okay?
yeah, it's like this makes no sense. So, like I said, though, I want to look into the details of it all a little bit more and follow that.
Look at what
but
AJ said.
let me see. AJ says motion sensor on the porch railing. You have 5 seconds to knock before I start choosing between the sawed off or automatic shotgun or SAW.
No, but in this particular situation, there's some real basic shit that cops supposed to do. And it was common sense. I just feel like with us, they can skirt around what is legal and what's not legal, and they try to. All he had to do is knock on the door, and just since the door was open, use your fucking voice, you cornball bitch ass scared yogurty ass cop, and say police. In case there was a burglar in there, in case it was some situation, police, or tell your partner gun or whatever to just bust on a person while they're in their house.
He did none of the things right.
He did none of it right. So to say manslaughter and it wasn't intentional, you intentionally didn't say police. So fuck you. That was intentional. You intentionally went, not knock on the front door, but walked around the house intentionally, looked through the window, pulled your gun out, pulled your finger on the trigger intentionally. How is this not intention when you could have done things to prevent it? They never de-escalate. They always take it to the fucking top. 0 to 60 with these fucking cops. And they tell us that they treat us like animals, and then they surprise when we act animalistic. Fuck them. I'm on one. I've been watching too many cops pulling niggas over videos. I'm a woosah. Woosah.
Yeah. All right. So, and that just made me believe that maybe manslaughter shouldn't be on the table.
Yeah.
In shootings for police, right? Like if you know, since they escalate things in the streets, let's escalate things on these sheets of paper, and you know,
Yeah, I
escalate.
thought you was going to do something else, which you
No, no,
said
no,
escalating on the
of
sheets.
paper.
I didn't. Yeah,
And you know, and put it on the books that you know the standard of burden is higher for cops. So if you shoot, it's either self-defense or you're murdering somebody because you're not doing it on accident. You're trained, obviously not well enough,
put
but
your
you're
fingers again
trained.
like that.
You're
Trained.
trained, and you know that when you point that muzzle and squeeze that trigger, that a lethal round is going to exit that and most likely kill something. So I'm not sure manslaughter should be an option
And
for
you know
cops
what?
after this. I'm looking at.
Dick Gregory said that if you can't, I mean, since they have so many fucking loopholes for them to get out of it, you fuck up, you lose your pension. You fuck up, you know, like hit them in the pocket. Or you
Hit them
fuck.
with murder, dog. Hit them with murder. When you any cop that kills somebody that they weren't
Oh
supposed
yeah,
to,
no, the kid murder. I said you fuck up, like you fuck up to
hit them
that
with
level.
murder,
But come
dog.
on, man, intentional. The thing about this particular thing, when I was watching it on the news and I watched some stuff online, I was like, I saw the video. So you're not gonna say nothing. You're gonna sneak around the house. You might have been a burglar. You quiet. You quiet as a mouse, sneaky motherfucker. You could announce, cops, are y'all safe in there? Are you okay in there? The door's been open.
We got a
Let me
call.
give a chance to fucking respond instead of busting on me because you're a bitch. Most cops, and in fact, there's a video of a cop talking all kind of shit. So yeah, and they're like, yeah, without that badge, you wouldn't be so tough. And the dude is saying it to his face, saying, you know, without that badge, you know what would happen. Because you're a simp and I'm an alpha. You know what would happen. And the guy, and he was telling the cop that, and the cop was like, sir, I need you to stand on the thing. He says, no, I don't have to do anything. What did you pull me over for? And when you tell them the law and you want them to you know, pay attention to the law, they get upset with you when you tell them the law. Like Pedro was pulled over, and obviously you got a cop that was cool and whatever. I've been pulled over, and I luckily a couple times I got a cop that was not, I'm not going to even say cool. Do your fucking job. If I was speeding, give me my fucking ticket and get the fuck on.
Shang, I
Don't be
remember.
making up shit. Hey, you got any guns in the car? No. You got any weed? You got any drugs? Any heroin? No, I don't got none of that. I answered you, bitch. I need to see your ID. Not actually. You don't really need to see my ID.
Nigga, I remember one time you and I were going to, I think this spot was called Moon Doggies or some shit, or
Yeah.
Moon Dogs down in Pacific Beach,
Yeah.
California, right outside San Diego. And we're like 2 blocks from the spot. I was driving and we get pulled over. And it's a white cop on the driver's side, Asian cop on your side, passenger side, and blah, 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 standard questions. They didn't even give a ticket or anything. I don't even remember what the reason was for pulling us over. But the white guy, he went through his thing of questions or whatever, and then he just paused. He was like, "You sure you guys aren't smoking weed in here?"
Yeah.
And we're like,
I remember.
no. And
you know
I hadn't smoked on the way down. You know, it's one of them times I didn't have weed on me, wasn't smoking. And you know, you weren't smoking back then at all. You know what I mean? So you know, it was just this ridiculous thing. And he was like, "You sure?" And we're like,
well, I'm Pedro. They pulled us over for driving too slow.
"Oh, there you go." And then as he went to run the info, and the Asian partner standing over here, I remember the Asian dude kind of looked at us both and was like, "Yeah, you know."
Yeah.
He kind of gave us the look like, you know, white guys.
It's my job. I can't.
He's like, you know,
I got kids to feed.
bro, I get it. He's
No,
like,
but the thing about the reason I get so adamant about it, and people think I'm a little bit, and maybe the reason I can't purchase a gun is there might be other reasons. Legally, I can't purchase a gun, but trust and believe. When the whole shit really go down, and we repeat January 6th, and they talk about all these fucking white supremacists and white nationalists, and Marjorie Taylor Greene just spoke at the Young Republicans convention in New York City. She was just there and talk about, if I would have planned the January 6th, we would have been armed. They're all online talking about a revolution taking over by violence. Fuck that. I may not be able to get one legally, but fuck if I'm gonna let some snow crackers just run up on me without me getting a weapon. They you bust, we bust. That's and I'll say this on the show. Yes, if I can't get a legal gun, I'm buying a crossbow. So you better watch out.
Be the last thing you hear, nigga.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
God.
Yeah. Then walk up to the cop and go, yeah. But no, in this situation, manslaughter, that it's like throwing a bone. I mean, honestly, to me, it's throwing a bone because there was so much intentionality with this shit.
Well, I think
and the other cop could have said, hey, man. The female cop could have said, hey, man.
Well, no, she couldn't. Okay, so she was in the back of the house and she said she heard him yell, let me see your hands, and then a shot so fast that like she didn't have time to turn around. So that's why she's not implicated in this at all. Like she didn't fire anything, you know, and you can't always control your partners and shit, and they were separated. So she literally wasn't next to him or able to do anything.
Why didn't either one of them announce that they were police there? The door was open.
I mean, okay, but the female cop, to be honest, hadn't engaged anybody. She hadn't seen anybody.
No, but what I'm saying is when they come up to the house, don't they
I get it. Yeah, I get it. That yes. But definitely once you see somebody, all of the cops were supposed to yell police, and she didn't. I'm not gonna ride this female cop. You know what I mean? Because
I am.
She didn't pull the trigger, and that's what it is.
Didn't do no. When they come to the door, they see the door open. She goes behind to the back of the house. Before you go behind to the back of the house, you dumb cop bitch, yell into the fucking open door and say, police. Why are you going to the back of the house? Check what's going on first before you go jump into stormtrooper mode. Show me your hands, pow. Like, what?
Yeah.
Tamir Rice.
But you know, I wouldn't say her actions directly led to Atatiana's.
I hope they all burn in hell. Listen, Tamir Rice.
Well, and Maya does bring up the point. One thing we got to remember, which this feeds into. Well, and I think this mostly falls on the jury, but Maya says, got to remember the judge is white, the DA is white, prosecutor is white, and there were no black jurors, but. You know, the option for murder was there, and that's what the prosecutors were pushing for. But the jury was basically deciding between those two.
But think about
options within the guilt category.
Everybody on the feed, and I know that I might be on one today. I'm a little disgruntled of some stuff. My Shangry I changed because I got to think about the future.
You just might want reword it before you go there.
Okay, so what I'm saying is, imagine how many cases of police, not only corruption, but them being just absolutely not qualified, and they get away with it, or they'll get manslaughter, or they'll get a lesser charge. The one woman who got 7 years because she shot the young man that was in the house and she thought it was her apartment. Now, I think that was kind of fuzzy. There was a lot of shit that was surrounding that.
That was a weird one, but she was a police officer, right?
What I'm saying is, it just seems like situation after situation after
situation. But off duty as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying there's a lot of situations where the level of benefit of the doubt is given to the cop, and we don't get, you're not guilty until proven. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, obviously, this is there. So there are those who don't feel like this is, justice for Atatiana, and there are those who feel they are. I am happy with a conviction. I think that was some sort of conviction was necessary.
I think it was.
I don't know what the difference in years are, or punishment severity is between the two charges.
Right.
So we'll wait to hear about, the sentencing. But this was an open and shut case, and now it is that it has been opened and shut, and we will kind of have to wait to see ultimately what the sentencing, what kind of just relief that might give us.
Right. Breezy
But
JJ said that when he walked, she said, "How do you not know what your home looks like?" Now, that cop, she did get 7 years, but the bottom line is, if you walk in somebody's house and go, "Who's all these black people on the wall?"
Okay, and that was the situation. Just to clarify, and I agree with you, BJJ's, but just to be totally clear, it's like it was like an apartment building, and I think he lived either a floor above or below her. And admittedly, one time in an apartment building I lived in, I hit 3 instead of 2, and then I'm sitting there at this door and my key's not working. And then somebody opens the fucking door and they're looking at me, and I'm like, and then I noticed the number on the door, and I was like, oh,
okay, but did you go in?
But I didn't go in there and shoot him. No, we both
But
lived
they
through
said
that
that.
incident.
Now that was a weird one because he was eating a bowl of ice cream. He didn't come to the door with a bowl of ice cream. They found his body in the living room.
Oh yeah, no. Well, that door was ajar, I think. Like his door was ajar as well. So she came in the mode of, well, her explanation is that she came in the mode of breaking and entering. But there seemed to be some history between the two of them.
Well,
and some neighbors apparently heard some knocking. But her story was she found a door.
Right. And you know what? And I'm glad that she went to jail.
And I'm with you, Breezy JJ's. Don't worry. I know you say, but still, I'm not applying that to her case as a. And that what's his name?
In her case,
Botham Jean.
You know how they have Taco Tuesday? I hope that she's in jail and it's Broomstick Wednesdays. I hope that she's getting butt blasted with a broom in her bottom.
In her bottom. Well, where else would you get butt blasted?
I mean,
hopefully not in your top.
I'm. You know what? I'm an old cranky man now, man.
I get it, bro.
I'm a cranky man. I just feel like enough's it. I guess because I have been here doing work in the hotel, and I went for walks and stuff because I'm right on the strip. So I went for walks and stuff, and I gambled a little bit last night. Went out and partied a little bit last night.
Yeah, Shang.
Well, it was dope. It was ridiculous.
Did you hide the bodies well?
Oh man,
they'll never find you.
It was nice when I was some fine ladies, but and didn't do nothing. I ain't getting no ass, but but it was just nice to be around a whole bunch of
sexiness,
females, sexiness. But the thing is, sometimes when I come back to the room after a set, sometimes you don't go to sleep. I look on my phone and something will come up in my feed, and I'm just going. So nobody. How many instances? I guess because I've been looking at the cops. How many cops have gotten off for fuckery? How many cops have planted evidence and done this? And I'm going, when are the good cops going to overtake the bad cops? And I don't think that's going to happen. In this situation, he got manslaughter, even though the prosecutor was pushing for murder. I just feel like there was some very basic things that they're supposed to teach cops to do that this one cop did not do. If you're saying you're giving the female cop a pass, and okay, I give her that. But I feel like the guy that did get committed, that committed the murder, not the manslaughter, the murder, there was some basic shit he could have did that could have saved this woman's life. And you got to think that little kid.
Oh, he's traumatized. He's got post.
He's traumatized for the rest of his fucking life.
Yeah,
he's going to be like him and police are going. There's going to be a problem with his emotional stability pertaining to when he sees a cop. I believe that. I believe that little kids. There was these little kids at a mall, and one of the little kids accidentally took some gum, and the cops made him get on the face down on the ground and was screaming at the mother, and the mother wasn't being aggressive at all. She was just scared, and they're getting her face on the ground. And some other men, which I'm glad to see that, were like, "What are you doing? What are you doing? These are little kids. What the fuck are you doing?" But the cops don't think we're little kids. Tamir Rice was a grown-ass man with gorilla strength to them. Yeah, he's up there holding a white woman on top of a building. We had to shoot him down. I mean, it's like with us, it's always he's big and strong, and he was a big black man, and blah blah. And you find out, oh shit, he was a 7-year-old. So
Beast from the East.
that double standard. Oh, he was 11. I thought he was 32. I could have swore I saw a beard. No, you didn't see a beard. You saw
that was
Pokemon
chocolate
shirt.
ice cream around
Yeah,
his mouth.
exactly. So that's why if anybody in the feed thinks I'm overreacting, if you've been alive as long as I have, like I'm 70 or some shit, but after you see it, it's like, come on, manslaughter? Really, motherfuckers? Come on.
Yeah. Well, you know,
but before we jump to the next topic, and not reacting to the fact that after he did the deed, not helping her.
Yeah, one of them could have been administering aid while the other is
or something
taking care of the kid.
They let her bleed out, bro. They let her die. So for all the police that watch our show, I want you to do me a favor, all of y'all. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to jump into like a grocery cart, put a gasoline on it, set it on fire on a hill, roll into traffic. Because
there you go.
If you're not a good cop, I'm not talking to you. If you're a good cop, you're exempt from my fucking ire.
There you go. Ire. All right, man. Savage AF. Fuck your feelings. Facts matter. You know what it is. Black Pedro. Comedian Shang. All right, man. So y'all ready for 51?
Yes,
51,
baby.
51 United States. All right, so here's the deal. The House passed a bill which will facilitate a vote next November 2023, in Puerto Rico, in which they will be able to decide, Puerto Ricans that is, vote on whether they will be independent, their own nation.
We already know what's going to happen with that. That's a wrap.
Statehood, meaning becoming the 51st state.
It's going to happen.
Or sovereignty, as it was put a specific way, but it's like sovereignty as a friend of the United States, I think is how it was described. Sovereignty in free association. In free association with the U.S. So that just sounds like some vague bullshit. But right now, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory.
Right. But without the rights,
with no representation,
right?
Other than one House member who doesn't have a vote, is just kind of there as a voice. But Puerto Ricans who earn money on the island do not pay federal income tax, but they do pay federal income tax on any monies earned anywhere else. So essentially, it becomes like, do they want to run themselves, or do they want to change their tax / congressional representative?
Well, okay. Well, let me ask you,
profile.
Pedro, what direction you really think Puerto Rico is going to do? I think I got an idea what they're going to do.
I'm not even speculating on it. I guess it would just be interesting. I think honestly, I would like for them to just join the union. Because I'm thinking politically about the addition of 2 more senators, which could most likely be Democratic. They're 1 representative in Congress now who, again, has no voting power.
Will have a voice.
Well, she is a Republican, though. But, House seats are based on population, and I'm not sure how the numbers would work out.
Well, they should get 2, because if Dakota gets 2,
no. Every state gets 2 senators, but I'm talking about representatives. So representatives are based on population, and so
but some of these bodunk ass places got too much power. I just
no. Hold on. That's because of the Electoral College. Hold on, I'm trying to explain it all, but that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about the Electoral College.
Fuck the world.
Yeah, no, we're talking about Congress, right? So
Congress.
In
talking
the Senate,
about practice. We talking about practice.
So in the House, though, of Representatives, each state's number of representatives are based on their population. So that's why larger states with more people have more representatives in the House. And so Puerto Rico would most likely present a predominantly Democratic um, representatives as well. So it could mean a serious shift in the balance of power for the Democratic Party.
Right.
And so that would be my motivation to say, come on in, Puerto Rico, let's get this
But
on.
Puerto Rico, but the way, okay, I'll give you an example, and I'm going to bring up Trump's name, even though I hate him, and I do think he's a piece of dung. Um,
Donkey
the
biscuit.
way he treated Puerto Rico after they had such a horrendous time down there, by
Yeah.
throwing there's so much disrespect. I think that if they do come and
You talking
join
about when
us,
he was throwing paper towels
throwing paper towels, yeah, he was
out
throwing paper
the
towels
back
like
of the
he was
truck,
throwing
like
paper
here,
towels,
get
and
this shit so I can get the fuck out of here.
yeah, he didn't give a fuck. But when it's Miami, well, when they were in Miami, when it was affecting some of his people down there, but I think that if they do join, I think that disrespect that he did, I think they'd have a little bit more voice. And when we
Yeah.
do stuff like that, they'd have more voice, more of a say. So I would like to see it go that
Well,
direction.
yeah, I mean, it's just weird. It's just in a weird place, and it's just kind of like the last. It seems like a last bastion of kind of colonial status, where yeah, we own you, but you don't have all the rights that all
Right,
the other
right.
states have. But we'll give you a break on your taxes, and but like, yeah, this is still our shit, and then yeah, we'll throw paper towel at your forehead if it
Right.
rains too
Yeah.
hard.
So yeah, it's almost a disrespect. It's like Puerto Rico gets disrespected, and I think that might change if they have a little bit more voice in government.
And Krista Moreno Doran says it's about time we get a voice. So sounds like she's claiming her Puerto Rican status.
And yeah,
And it's like, and Puerto Ricans, just like so many other groups who have contributed, have contributed a lot to the society.
a
So,
lot to society, to
and are
America
active members of the American society
across
on
the
the main
board.
line as well as on the
But I
island.
think
So
that Republicans, even though there's a Republican there, but I'm saying the Republicans, and if you look at the whole Trump era, the way that they've always kind of disrespected everybody because they disrespect democracy, they disrespect the truth, they're corrupt and they're crime bosses. Um, After that, I thought if I'm Puerto Rican, after the way that they seem like they just were disrespecting Puerto Ricans, I thought if they get if they get this in November and they come in, like you said, come with us, I cannot see them voting for Republicans. I can just I can't see it. I think they'll go
yeah.
full blown Democratic because or independent or whatever. I just can't see after the Republicans treated them like shit. And
Yeah.
I really think they did.
Well, I think that's why it's projected that if they became part of the union, that their representation in Congress would be mostly Democratic. Maya breaks it down, says most Puerto Ricans will vote to join the union. That's her call. 2 senators and 3 representatives. Um, sounds about right. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. I mean,
I know the 2 senator part is true, but
and I'm just gonna throw this as a side thing. This don't got nothing to do with this part of it, and it's a male thing because I have testosterone and a penis. At least last time I checked, I have a penis because I don't.
check
Don't. Hey,
every day, bro.
I'm saying don't. Hey, I'm a pronoun. Don't.
Check every day.
um, like oh, phenom. That's hilarious. I Puerto
What she
Rican
say?
women. I just got to say to all the Puerto Rican women, mwah,
There you go.
fucking
Phenom
fire.
Brown says, yeah, all Drumpf did was act like the Brawny Man was gonna be all the help they needed. Is an island neglected and disrespected like a slave master's slave baby mama. Yeah, I mean, thank you, Phenom Brown, for that. Yeah, I mean and that's been brought up. It's like the status or Puerto Rico status within our you know nation is it's in this weird place of kind of taxation without representation in some ways, and just the lack of representation but oh, we got you kind of status it's just not cool anymore, right? It's
It's
like
it's
either
it's about time.
love
No,
me or leave me alone.
the fact that this is the other part of it, and y'all can say in the feed what y'all think, and I'm gonna say my opinion. Even though it's happening now, it seemed like it's so late. It just seems like it's so late for this conversation, and this conversation should have been had. And I'm just gonna be generous. At least a decade ago.
Well, I know it has in the past, and
But
Krista,
it's not coming
maybe
to
well,
fruition.
Krista, or maybe anybody else who may be up on this, or any other Puerto Ricans in the building, if y'all can maybe clarify, because I think it's like I believe there has been a vote on this in the past, um, and I obviously could be wrong, but if anybody could help me verify or deny that,
But this
we'd
conversation,
appreciate that. But I know the conversation
the
has been had and
conversation, but
has been ongoing.
at
But
the action, there's
yeah,
been a lot of
exactly. At a
conversation.
certain point, there's only so much talking you can do.
Yeah, it's like, okay, the conversation. I just think right now that Puerto Rico, if they do go through with it, we're talking about what, November of next year,
November 23. Yeah.
23. So if it does go through, I think that if it is the way I'm thinking, and I might be wrong, like you said, but I think it's going to scare the Republicans. I think it'll scare the shit out of Republicans because the Republicans are always trying to find some kind of sneaky way to fucking usurp shit.
So I'm glad you brought them up. Their complaints or hesitations are that there isn't enough detail in the bill lent towards the sort of the logistics of bringing them into the union and what it would mean tax wise and blah blah blah. I'm like, well, seems like you would just apply United States tax codes to Puerto Ricans, and
That's pretty simple.
then have people run for these newly opened seats and have an election in 24 or whatever,
And then
and
it just seems pretty
welcome Puerto
simple.
Rico. Yeah,
Okay, like
and maybe that's just the broad strokes, and maybe they're talking about, well,
details, the intricate details.
fiscal year of 23.
What
How
about
do we
this?
send? Where do we send the checks for the?
Okay,
I
and
don't
then
know.
with the Puerto Ricans, what do we call them? Do we still call them Puerto Ricans? Yeah, you do, stupid.
Yeah.
I mean, it just seems like it's not a broad stroke. It just seems like all the details. Yeah, but you pretty much it can be settled. I just think they put extra on it.
Yeah.
They put the extra on it.
So I think Christina's helping me verify here. She says, no, you're correct, Black Pedro. I'm just so yeah, I think there was just like a vote in the past, at least one, and I believe Puerto Ricans chose to remain a territory at that time. But times are changing, and
Times are changing.
Well, I think when the president comes and just tosses napkins at your forehead in the wind, that that you're like, nah, we probably need a little bit more power than this within
But
society.
you know what? I got calls from New York when he did that. When I say the anger people had, the fucking they disrespect, like they was mad, man. It was like, the fuck is he doing? Like, it was just, even when you watch it, you go, what the fuck are you doing? You could just see that, like you said, here's some shit. I'm out of here. I'm just doing this for now. Like, he didn't give a fuck about the lives that were lost, the property that was lost, all of the damage and stuff. And I just feel like like I saw somebody in there, Maya said, I think the GOP is afraid of it. They're afraid, but the GOP in general, because they're pretty much Trump's fucking party, they're afraid of the diversity of America and how it's changing. And that's why they say, let's make America great again. Let's go back to the past. That's why white nationalists are coming up. That's why not only white nationalists, white nationalists was just basically white supremacists. I don't know why.
Same shit. There's no difference.
Same shit. No, I said that to somebody who said, no, it's two different things. No, it's not. It's the same shit. It's the same shit. So I'm hoping that, and I love Puerto Rico. I've been to Puerto. Have you ever been to Puerto Rico?
No, I still have not been, man.
Man,
can't wait till it's the 51st state. I see you,
Man,
Angeles Ford. Miss Aver, welcome to the building.
what's up,
Miss
Miss?
Aver was just in. She's like, "What did I miss?" So we were talking about the opening of a pathway for Puerto Rico to become either independent, the 51st state,
Or the
or
51st state.
remain in ambiguous state as they are right now. But yeah, so we'll see. But this is setting it up for this November vote next year. So we're about 11 months away. Obviously, we'll keep our ears to the ground on it. I think Maya said that most Puerto Ricans are going to vote for to become states, to join the union. So let's see. Phenom, what you telling me? I'm gonna give this to you, and then we're gonna move on to the next one.
We'll
She
move
says
on to the next one.
PR, meaning Puerto Rico, Guam, DC. That's another. That's actually interesting too. Virgin Islands, all occupied U.S. territory, needs statehood. It's hella taxation without representation, and lots of military. Good old America acting like the Commonwealth, and landjacking and imperialism. They need to give reparations and make the people um, uh, wild in all these areas. Statehood or no taxes. Also, Puerto Rico has areas with abject poverty and no help from all the
Right.
other storms. It's still a mess there, except for white man-owned resorts. So, that I think since the last votes on this, hopefully Puerto Ricans have seen that they need to be in Congress with votes.
I agree.
They need to be a part of the voice for president of the United States. And what what politician wouldn't want to go to Puerto Rico to campaign? I mean, it sounds like a win-win to
I
me.
I've been there. I know that I'm frozen, but I've been there, and there are some horrible parts of Puerto Rico. There's some very very poor parts, and but it is beautiful. There's beautiful parts too.
Yeah.
So,
Also, Ms. Aver recognizes that many of them are Republicans. Now, of course, I'm not saying that it'll just be 5 new seats in Congress for the Democrats all of a sudden, but mostly, I don't think there's a. I think it's a more when we talk about the level of poverty and things like that. It
right.
should if they're going to join this union, the Democrats should be able to message to the larger majority of Puerto Ricans, I think, than their elite
Well,
Republican
hey,
population.
I know we're gonna move on, but I'm leaning towards hoping that there's 51 because I just want to see people worry about. Damn, we got to change the flag. Fuck.
And Phenom, don't right. And Phenom, don't worry about typos. We all totally understand.
Yeah,
We get
we're gonna have to
passionate and
change the
trying to get
flag.
our
Don't the
voice
flag
out.
have to have 51 stars?
Oh yeah, man. I mean, that's I don't mind that. Let's rebrand it. All right, man. We're gonna keep it pushing. Stick with us, y'all. As we do, I'm gonna push a little something like this right here, right that, like that.
Hey, 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 it's your boy Black Pedro popping in, hey, 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 with another poppin' to let you know what's poppin'.
Hey, it's your boy Black Pager with
What's
another
your
popping
thing?
and let you know what's popping. You know what it is, y'all. Savage AF, Black
Period.
Pedro, comedian Shane. All right, man. So, I'm starting to, I'm just starting to lean towards what I believe is that Inspector Deck, the Rebel Lioness. Let me pull Shane back in. He gonna want to hear this one. All right, Shangadang. What I was saying is that I believe that the Rebel Lioness, Inspector Deck, is the best lyricist out of the Wu-Tang Clan. It could be a whole other show and debate later on. I'm just throwing that out there to say that he has he does a guest verse on a Gangstar song called Above the Clouds. You know.
What?
And it's a dope ass verse, right? I leave scientists mentally scarred, triple extra large, wild like rock stars who smash the stars. Is it, man? Listen. Anyways, Above the Clouds. It just got me thinking about this next story. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of the song that was playing in my head when I found out that your iPhone and your iPad, the new ones, the new operating system 16.2, iOS 16.2, has a new feature that I think everybody should know about. Let me see exactly what the feature is called. It's called Advanced Data Protection. Okay. And like I said, we're gonna be talking about TikTok later this week and next week and stuff like that. So, you know, that's what it is. But this is called Advanced Data Protection, new feature on iOS 16.2, that will allow you to. Let me pull Shang back in.
There you go.
The Lord of Darkness. The voice from beyond.
Pedro, speak on the cloud.
But without this new advanced data protection feature, your data for Apple users out there that you back up your phone, anything, all your information that you do back up on the cloud is susceptible. Should Apple ever be hacked, those hackers would have access to your shit on the cloud. Now, what this new advanced data protection feature does is it adds end-to-end encryption, both ends of your data, such that only you can access this shit. Now, that also does mean if you lose your shit and just can't figure it out, it's like remember MySpace and you couldn't, and you just be locked out your account, dog.
You just ass out.
That's start over. So there's that, but that's on you. But the reality is this would, and it has the feds pissed, the FBI are pissed about it, because they have in the past subpoenaed people's information from Apple. It would prevent Apple from accessing your information on the cloud, which would therefore prevent the FBI. Okay, which means also you might end up in the same room Shang is in right now. Some blackness, and they're like, "What's your password?" So that being said, man, for those of you who have the new operating system, new phones on app or Apple phones, iPhones, and you have the iOS 16.2, look for it. Advanced data protection. I can't tell you how to get to it. Obviously, it's going to be in settings, but just do a search on your phone for advanced data protection and turn that shit on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and, I don't like that. I don't like it at all. You know why? Because if you lose your shit, you lose your shit.
Yeah, but for me, I'd rather carry that burden than knowing that. I'd rather carry that burden knowing that the FBI can never get my shit.
But why would the FBI be worrying about your shit? What did you do,
you
Pedro?
Don't know, nigga.
What did you do?
Don't know, nigga. You never.
What did you do?
I just want it to be, and obviously it's not just about the FBI, but it is about hackers.
But what about with a criminal? If we ever have a justice system that works, what about a criminal if they need to get into his phone? And he'd be like, "No, nigga, I got all these dead bodies in there, and I'm not gonna tell you where they at." No.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, it all becomes it becomes a slippery slope, right? But
it's a slippery slope.
Then it's like, well, what if they just start framing motherfuckers just so they can get right into your shit? You know what I mean? They're like,
okay,
we got all these bodies on Shang. We just need his password. You know what I mean?
And I'd be like, well, damn it, not again.
No, but yeah, I don't know. I with these kind of things, I'm more into allowing the people to have the privacy. I'm putting it out there for my peoples out there, but I also don't think it's a feature that they're announcing.
I haven't heard a lot about it, and probably won't.
So yeah. So
where's the big press release, Pedro? Where's the big?
Hey, criminals want to hide your drug stashes digitally?
Yeah, that I'd like to hear more about it, but maybe Apple says, maybe we shouldn't roll that out too much.
Let's go.
So
Yeah, so that's my little bit for y'all. My Black Pedro popping today. You know what it is. Savage AF. Shang, I'm gonna
I
let you.
don't know how I'm gonna do it, but
Well, no, it's gonna be no. Honestly, it's gonna be fantastic when it's just a voice. you'll be the blackest voice on the internet.
yeah.
So let's go though on social media. That's you. All right, man. We're gonna kick it to y'all, and as we do it, get Shangry with us, man.
Hey, 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 what's going on?
Follow the darkness.
Yeah, I was born in the dark.
You nearly adapted to it.
Well, the people that can see my weird face and my weird, yeah, it's a weird face. I'm just saying, if I see one more slave movie, I swear on everything I love. Will Smith is coming out with a slave movie.
Emancipation,
more slave shit. And I just was on a promo with this dude and I did a podcast. Why is it they keep coming out with slave movies? Is this their way to go? You know, we used to own you niggas. And let's revisit the fact that we owned you niggas. I don't want to see another motherfucking slave movie again in my life. It's the 15 Days a Slave or 15 Years a Slave and nigga in the cupboard and whatever. It's always something. It's always some kind of stuff where we're some subservient the help, the broom, the mop. It's always all that type of shit. And I just feel like Will Smith, this is the last type of movie, even though I heard he kills it in it. The last type of movie that I want to see from another black man is us being slaves. There are so many other stories that we can be told about black people other than the fact that white people used to own us. So fuck that. And I know some people going to still watch it because they want to see Will Smith. And he better smack some of those fucking slave owners just like he smacked Chris Rock. If you're going to smack Chris Rock, you better slap these motherfuckers too. Period. That's what I'm saying. And this is the wild shit. Apple TV, it's on Apple TV. They are rolling this out like this is the best thing since sliced bread. They want us to see, like, come on, you niggers. You know you want to see you as slaves again. You know you like it. No. Yeah. I just feel like I'm tired of it. Are you tired? Is anybody tired of us as slaves in slave movies? Enough is enough. And even if, he won't get the Oscar, AJ Fitt, because he ain't going to get invited. Because he might slap a motherfucker. But yeah, he
could win an Oscar without.
He could win an Oscar, but I'm done with the slave shit. Enough of the slave shit. Enough of this with us as slaves, always being subservient, always going through pain, always showing our pain, show our beauty, show the fact that we're dope as hell now instead of showing how oppressed we were then. And I would like to see more of the dopeness of us now than why'd you whip me so bad, boss? I could fight for you and everything I ever had. I'm sick of that shit. They don't care, but fuck it. Let's not support that shit. I don't want Will Smith to take a L, but just let's stop supporting slavey shit and let's start writing shows that are a little bit more elevating for us and movies for elevating for us. That's all.
That's it, man. Yeah, I tried. The last one I tried to do was The Butler. It was like about the dude who served the president for generations.
Can't do it no more.
And I believe the movie started off slaves in the cotton field, and the voiceover literally said, "All my life, all I knew was picking cotton." And I was like, click. nigga, I have never
do it no more.
dipped on a movie so quick. I was just like,
this slave movie is based on the emancipation, based on a photograph of a slave that had the pictures with his back filled with whelps from being whipped. And this is that character. And, I just feel like, Yeah, I agree with you. What happened to movies, shows like the Cosby shows? I don't know if we want to use
Well,
Cosby.
yeah.
Yeah,
Krista might be too
but
soon on that. What
I
happened to
would like to
Cosby?
see. I would like to see like Living Single. I
Oh
thought
man,
that
yeah.
was. I thought it
You
was a good
mean
show.
Black Friends before Friends was even
Yes. Oh
because
yeah,
they,
that was pretty much what it was. But what
you
I'm
know,
saying is, I'd rather see some more, or even black and brown people, because I got to include brown people too. Not the brown people in Los Angeles administration, because apparently they're racist as fuck. And there's a bunch of audio that came out about them recently. But I just feel like if we could we need a little bit more diversity, because it's always some subservient shit. And you saw The Butler? I actually watched that motherfucker. And I was like, wow. So there,
yeah, no, I literally could not get past the first sentence of the opening monologue. I was like, click.
yeah.
So that was that, man. All right, man. So Savage AF, that was your Shangri for today. That's your show for today, guys.
That's your show for today.
Remember, we are here for you guys Monday through Friday, typically 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, typically on YouTube and Facebook. Tomorrow, we're going to try and be typical. So
we're going to try to, we will be typical. And also, thank you guys for some of the people that came down to the show last night. I got 4 more shows down there. Las Vegas, Nevada. I'll be at the Oyo Casino. If you want to get in free, Maya, I know you said you got some people coming down. If you got some of your family coming down, you got friends down here, just tell them to say my name at the door and they'll get in free. They will get in free if you just say, I know Shang. And then they'll come in. You can get in there free and come see the show. I'm probably going to talk about, I'm going to probably give Will Smith the business about this slave ass thing tonight. I'm going to talk about that. And I got a new joke about Marjorie Taylor Greene that it's been hitting.
JRA NYC said the next slave movie will star Aries Spears. He will be the one ratting out those who were going to fight back or run away. Yes, sir. It's just called House. All right, man. So in the house. All right, man. Savage AF, you know what it is. We'll be back here tomorrow. Myself, Shang, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. In the meantime, in between time, stay black if you are. Don't be black if you're not. Okay.
No doubt. See y'all in Vegas.
It's a hard life.
Oh, don't you do it. Don't you do that.
I'm sorry. Keep your finger out your nose.
There you go.